Today in the wood yard, I'm at my new best friend Tony's house, and he's got toys, and we're gonna play with them. Here we go. So today I'm at Tony's place. He lives just down the road from me, a little ways away. More than a little ways away. A little bit. But came over today because he's got all kinds of toys, and he reached out to me. He's actually one of you. He is a viewer of the channel, and he got a hold of me because
you have an Eastonmade, and I'm the closest person next to you with an Eastonmade product, as well as your new tractor that you're going to be looking at.
That's right. That's right. He's got a tractor too, so he's got a lot of stuff. So I stopped in, about a week ago or so I was here.
About that, yeah.
And he just showed me all of his toys, and we got to talking, and there's all kinds of things you guys are going to want to see, because we're going to do some demonstrations on some products, the things that I don't have that he does have, and he's got lots of good stuff. So first thing we're going to talk about is why you're even here. You moved here how long ago?
About 2 years ago we moved. I retired and moved up to central Wisconsin.
That's good. It's nice to have you here.
Absolutely,
you came up
a
from
former fib.
Yeah, for those of you that know what a fib is, you don't need to know. Anyway, this is the reason he's into firewood. He has got a great big wood boiler here to heat his house, and so he needs firewood, so he started buying toys, and you've always liked doing firewood, right?
Yep. That's been a passion for many, many years. Just cutting. Not necessarily burning, but cutting.
So now he's got a reason to do it. So he went hog wild, and he's buying everything you can find, right?
You betcha.
Because everything you buy is stuff to make it easier to do the job.
Definitely. When you're a one-person operation, you try to make it as easy as possible.
Which is what most of us are. That's the truth. So tell me a little bit about your stove here.
Well, we had bought our house, and we have a fireplace inside our home. But we wanted to heat with wood, and so the reason I went with this one is we also built a outbuilding, and I wanted to heat the outbuilding and the house at the same time.
You say outbuilding, you mean this ginormous shed that you have here?
It's a little shed. It's a little shed.
How big is it?
35 by 54.
Yeah, that's a nice shed.
But it'll heat both of them with no problems. I don't heat the pole barn all year long, or I should say I don't heat it all winter long, just as needed. But this is a high energy efficient Heatmaster 200. Very, very good, but you have to have dry wood. That's the key.
Really?
Yeah. And it's not like some of the other boilers where you can toss anything in and burn green pallets and everything. This definitely likes dry wood.
And you went through last year how many face cords do you think?
Approximately 6 to 8 cords, not face cords.
Full cords.
Full cords.
Yeah, so that's quite a bit of wood.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, and I started October.
And how many square foot is your house?
3,600.
Oh, so that's quite a bit of space to heat. And this square footage is a lot.
Yeah, but well, you're not, the two of them, it's 5,000 square feet.
Right, but you're not heating that to get it to like be, 60 degrees, 70 degrees. You're just keeping the chill out for the most part.
Oh, actually, when I want to work inside, it'll get up to 60 degrees.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice,
so
nice.
But yeah, you don't, when you're working outside in the wintertime, you don't want it hot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's go for a little walk. Show me some of your stuff you have here. Why don't we probably first let's go over to the most important thing over on the far side that's over there.
Okay.
So we're gonna head over to where he's got the main reason he got a hold of me in the first place was that he's got a Eastonmade splitter, one I don't have, that some of you might be interested in seeing. We're gonna do some running of that real soon here. So there's the toy. It's a nice toy. So give me the tour of the toy.
Well, I wanted a splitter. I had a small Home Depot type splitter, and that was extremely slow, almost like Glacier, your old one.
A lot of people have Glaciers.
Yes, yes. So I wanted something fast, and I wanted something very heavy duty that would last the rest of my life.
Yeah, and this certainly will.
And this truly will. Eastonmade products, Andrew at Eastonmade really makes an awesome product. It's done everything I've asked it to do and more. And with a 12 horsepower engine, the Honda GX390, and the 25-gallon reservoir. It pumps that fluid. It keeps it cool. It also has the hydraulic cooler.
Right.
The thermostat, even in the summertime, 80 degrees really does not go much past. It's just phenomenal.
See, mine gets pretty warm. It gets up to like 115-ish, somewhere in there.
Yeah, this will go up, but nothing. My other one started foaming and then shut down. So
yeah, I've heard of guys boiling their their fluid.
But being a one-man operation, I love the lift, the hydraulic lift here. And it, as they say, it will lift anything you put on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So with the auto return, the auto cycle feature, it's phenomenal. It's how quickly. The throughput on this, if you have your wood close to you, if you have two people, basically, you could do two cords in an hour.
Yeah. It's fast. I know it is.
And there's going to be, I'm sure, several people saying, well, there's a lot of resplitting, and it all depends on what kind of wood you get, how many knots you have. So,
well, in my experience, it's how fast you can feed your splitter.
That's it.
Usually, a commercial splitter like the Eastonmades, like this one, even mine, the smaller Ultra, 2 guys, it's as fast as you can go.
Yes.
It's as fast as you can go.
Yep.
And
3 people on this
would be
is
ideal,
plenty.
Right? Well, I've heard the new one they're talking about, the new diesel they got coming out.
Is 5 seconds.
Yeah, they're saying that it's going to take, 3 guys and a keg of beer and a herd of children to keep it running.
Absolutely. I could see that. Between my daughter and her fiance and I, it's everything to keep this going, and it's extremely fast.
Right, and it's just a matter of being close enough to the wood because you're wasting so much time going back and forth. And I find that's the key for me, is be as close as possible to the wood as you can.
Absolutely.
And that way you can feed it as fast as possible. That's the key.
I agree 100%.
Because I've seen guys where I watch them, no matter what kind of splitter they are, and you see they've got, the splitter here and the wood is like way over there and they're walking back and forth. It's like, that's a lot of waste of time. You got to get close to the wood.
Well, similar to yours, you have a fixed wedge, and you can move it up or down.
Right.
With this, having the hydraulic lift really makes a difference as to the quality of splits that you want. Because everyone talks about either cutting boiler wood or campfire wood or bundled wood.
Right.
And this can do all of those.
Right.
I mean, yours can as well. It's just how efficiently and one-man operation versus multiple people. So that's why I chose this. I looked at many different other manufacturers, many of them here in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Some Canadian companies.
Oh, there's a lot of good equipment out there, just no doubt about it. It's a matter of just choosing what's right for you, and if you can get it fast enough. That's the big key, is that now everybody's behind on production now.
Oh, 6-8 months. Absolutely.
Or more, yeah.
Or more. That's it.
Yeah, this is quite the machine. The push plate on this thing is just massive.
It's, no matter what your viewers are looking at here, you cannot, until you actually are physically in front of this, it doesn't do it justice.
No, I'd have to agree with that. When I looked at it the other day and I was here, just the size of your cylinder there is just massive. I mean, everything about it is heavy duty, and the thickness of all the steel and everything on it is just, it's very impressive.
And that's it. Originally, when I was looking at this 10 years ago, when I started looking at this, I was lusting over the Timberwolf TW5. I thought that was the ultimate, and it was fantastic. I worked on some of them, or I helped split with some of them, and it's real nice. But it is a much lower machine than this one is. But then afterwards, I wanted a vertical splitter. And I looked at those, and that's what I wanted, was a vertical splitter. But there's only one company that I know in Canada, and I looked at it, and I worked with it. I went and actually split some wood with it, and it was very nice. But when I saw this one and the robust manufacturing process that they use, with the ability to change the plates here if you wear them out, and as Andrew said, he hasn't, for people, I will never wear those out in my lifetime.
Yeah, this is the kind of machine, it's a lifetime machine.
Exactly.
And like Andrew says too, and I totally agree, it's going to hold its value.
Yes.
I don't see why it would depreciate because unless you're using it 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, you're not going to wear it out. You just aren't.
That's exactly it. The other advantage that I really like about this is the ease in changing the wedges. This one is the 4-way wedge.
Right.
It does come standard with a 6-way, not the 4-way wedge. But there's also a box wedge that comes with this that you could utilize.
What do you like using the most?
The 4-way is by far, when I'm doing it myself, the easiest. If I get straight grain, nice straight grain wood, large pieces, I will put the box wedge on this, and it's beautiful. You just get symmetrical wood. It's just real pretty wood.
But with the box wedge, you do get more waste too, don't you?
There is what we call kindling that comes with it, and there's probably the less kindling that I get is out of the 4-way.
Yeah.
The 6-way, I still get some. The box wedge, I get a fair amount.
Right. If you want true, clean cuts, single wedge.
Yes. That's exactly it.
It's just the best. Because you're always going to have grain waves, and you're going to have curves, you're going to have knots, and anytime you're trying to force it through 2 directions at one time, because really you're cutting vertical and horizontal, even with a 4-way.
Exactly.
You're going to get some waste. You're going to get some chunks that are not so good.
Well, now I've just noticed that Andrew released a video the other day of a 4-way that he's designed with a longer single.
Right.
I forget how tall it is. That's the ultimate.
Yeah, I think it's like 18 inches or something like that. Does that sound right? Because yours is maybe 9 or 10, maybe?
I'd say, yeah, about
10 probably.
About 10, yeah.
So quite a bit higher.
That works good for splitting something that's 30 inches or so. It'll split it in half with no problem.
Well, what do you say we go start this thing up and maybe do some splitting with it?
Hey, that sounds fun.
Let's go do it. So we're going to hook it up right now. And the one thing we were just talking about, the one drawback with the 1222 is that it is heavy and you cannot move it by hand. So Tony's going to hook it up right here. A little more. Oh, now back. Nope. Hey.
The main reason we put this here is so that we're closer to our wood pile, like Chris says. Get as close as possible to your wood so you're not moving it 2 or 3 times.
Yep, you want to be close to the wood. That's what I always tell my wife.
So I just crank this up all the way, because I want to be as level as I possibly can here.
Right, because you're going to drop the stabilizer leg down.
So we're off there. We're off there, so we're good.
So that stabilizer's
here,
both sides, right?
Yep. That's why. We don't want to show this.
A convincer?
Yeah.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. Oh, there you go.
That's it.
Got to lock it in, yeah, because that hole is just kind of tight yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like tight.
So what is this thing? What does this thing weigh total?
2,300 pounds.
That's substantial. That's more than some cars weigh.
Exactly.
So then do you put something underneath here just so it doesn't sink in, or it's good to go?
That is good to go. Chris, we had talked about this before. This is one of the other reasons I purchased the Eastonmade, was the log lift. Most of the other log lifts that I see are hydraulically operated, but they're fixed to the lift, so that if your foot, or if you're working with people and you're not on the lever, the hydraulic lever, you can actually crush your foot.
Right, and the other thing I noticed too is some of them, when they put it down, they hit it real hard and the whole thing rocks and almost doesn't tip over, but I mean, you can just tell.
With this jack leg over here, it really is stable, and we'll put some of the larger logs on so you can see.
Yeah, that's going to be good. So yeah, that's nice that it just flips down like that and then it rolls on that roller. Yeah, and I noticed you do have a couple what I would call substantial pieces.
Those are about 35 or 36 inches.
Yes, those are some big ones. That's going to be, that'll test the power of the lift. The problem is you're on a hill here. We got to get them over there.
That's easy.
Okay.
I'll have you do it. That's why you're here.
That sounds fine with me. But yeah, those are some big ones. Now there, I would either rip those or I would pop them down with them all just so I could handle them, which that's why you got a log lift.
That's it.
And my log lift doesn't work for me anymore. He's got a different job now.
Oh boy.
So what's going to happen here now? What are we going to do?
Well, you wanted to turn it on, so we'll turn it on and make it happy and make you happy. So we have the Honda 390, the GX 390, 12 horsepower. And this one comes with the electric start. You really don't need it. It's so easy to pull on this thing.
Yeah, mine starts pretty easy, but I'm sure the electric.
Since it's there, why not use it? So basically, we've already warmed this up so that you know that we're going to start working with it. So we'll go around here and show the adjustable log, or the adjustable wedge. And we'll go with the log lift. And naturally it'll go much faster with the RPMs higher. Once, and if I'm doing it a long time, I will grease it a second time, probably after about 4 or 5 hours. And I grease it both forward and backwards. Super, super easy. Yep. Exactly. Right. Yep. We'll use it as a staging area.
Okay, so Tony and I just split this little basket here, and my first observation is it's nice to have two guys.
Yes, extremely.
I can see that this machine is a one-person operating on a side because you got the log lift here. I really can't do much there other than...
Actually, a lot of times I do operate from this side.
Oh, you do? Okay.
And just let it drop off. However, it is better from the opposite side.
Right.
And if you do have help, but I load up my table and then I usually go to the opposite side.
And that's one of the other observations. A log lift is nice.
Yes.
I wish I had one.
Backsaver.
Just the fact of having a staging area to have all your wood there.
At the height, at the waist height.
So nice.
And both of us are taller people. We're not, you know, physically or
I'm very average.
height.
I'm average in every way. Just ask my wife.
But this is actually the right working height. As Andrew said, he showed where this log wedge here just fits the wood perfectly when it falls in. It doesn't go off either side.
That's one of my other observations is I love the cradle. The cradle is just awesome on this. The wood just falls right in. But having the log lift, for the fact of lifting a log, which we're going to get to. We're going to lift one of these big Mahamba Jambas here real soon. But just to have a working table, a working area is really nice. Another observation is, of course, I like the huge push plate. You just throw it in and it just goes. That's awesome. I like the fact that it's got the automatic return on the plate. That when it gets to the end, it just pops back. That's nice because it auto-cycles. I can see working by yourself. That's got to be just heaven because you just hit it and go.
With two people, the nice thing about it is you don't even have to bring the wood all the way back. You can use the detent, so you're not even coming all the way back and cycling. So you can put another one in there. Right. And I'm sure some people will talk about safety, but after a while you get used to the machine.
Right. And then of course being able to raise and lower the wedge at will, that's nice. And I saw you were holding some of the pieces up there, which I'm pretty sure OSHA would probably put you in jail for that because you got your hand in there. But I know why you're doing it because you want to do a double split, which makes total sense. Yep. And you know enough to pull your hand out, and if you don't, you'll learn quick.
You'll learn real quick, yeah.
Exactly. Now, one thing I noticed, when I had this full, one of the small pieces fell off and then fell down onto your hoses here. So I can see that as being something you got to watch out for, that you don't want big logs falling down and hitting your hoses here, because you could probably pull them, not that you're gonna pinch a line or anything, but you could easily pull it enough that you could bend one of your arms there, or you could do something here where you might yank it out of a fitting.
Absolutely. I'm sure that once we get the big logs on it, you'll see if it goes kittywampus on you, it could break a valve.
Is it kittywampus or cattywampus?
It depends on what part of the state you're in.
Okay. See, I come from Polish heritage, so of course you do too.
Oh, so do I, yeah.
See, so it's catty. It's cattywampus.
It's cattywampus?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're the poppin', not the soda guy.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So the other thing is obviously the fact that you could grease your plate there. Awesome.
It's extremely easy. Ironically, I did not know that was there, and I was using a paintbrush with grease and just painting it on. Yeah. And then, lo and behold, I found it there, and I just used the grease gun, and that makes life a whole lot easier. 20 pumps in the front, 20 pumps in the rear, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, nice.
And no oil all over it to make it look like it's used
like
for
mine.
50 years.
Yeah. As long as it keeps working, that's all that matters.
Well, and I do like pretty tools.
Yeah, I do too. But it's more important that they just work.
Okay.
So now this is another valve for something else. Is that what that is?
I have no clue what that is.
It's got to be another fitting where you can put another valve for some other control, which I don't know what it would be. Maybe it's just because he buys it and it's a block. That's how it comes, and
never asked
for another control. I just wondered. I just saw that. But yeah, it's very nice. Obviously having your stabilizer leg down here makes a big difference, because I noticed when we had all the logs piled here, it rocks a little bit. Now we're going to find out next. We're going to take one of these big boys here and put it on and raise it up, and I'm sure it'll move a little bit, but let's do that next.
Okay.
Okay, now so we've got these little boys here we're going to try to move. So yeah, I can see where this is an issue on your hill here too. So I see you got a little log underneath there to stop it. Because these are probably, what would you guess, 400 pounders?
Oh, I'd say so. Something close.
Yeah. So you're just going to roll it over. There you go.
You got to leave my foot out of it, though.
Oh, are you in there?
Yeah, there we go.
Sorry. I didn't put your foot there. That was some other guy. Yeah, you got a big chunk of wood here. The nice thing about these is you get a lot of wood out of one of these.
Oh, yeah.
Like 4 of these is a face cord. Wow.
Here, I'll move it over. Whoop.
Holy smokes. Do we want to be just like this, though?
Nope, we got to get it
flat.
No, we got to move it over just a little more.
This way.
Yep.
I see. Oh my God,
there
that
she
is
goes.
heavy. Now when we go to lift that, somebody's gonna have to hold this because it'll roll off, won't it?
Right.
That was heavy. So there, it's on.
Let me turn
the beast on. That's a piece of wood. Wow. You gonna flip it back or? So do we want to roll it? Yeah. What do you do?
We might have to do a different one.
Go lower this down.
The reason is it's not solid, so
right.
Yeah, we're stuck on this.
I'll roll it over.
Watch.
Hold on here. Don't hit any levers.
Okay.
Nope, can't push it. Just go ahead and hit it. See what happens. Yeah. So as you saw, we had some difficulty here because this particular piece is hollow and rotten in the middle, and we couldn't get it to crack all the way up to the top here. So what we're going to do is just pop it with a maul or a Fiskars. We're going to split it so we can get a couple halves here so we can handle it. Tony said that he has had pieces this big but were solid, and they split just fine all the way up. But because it was rotten, we couldn't get it turning. It's so heavy, even with the 2 of us, we couldn't do much. So we're going to give it a pop here and see what happens.
Oh, you want to use that or that?
I don't care.
Have you ever tried this?
Yeah, my brother's got one. I've tried it, but it's already cracked. It's going to pop. It's going to pop right away here, so.
It's already cracked.
I know you're not supposed to do that, but come on. I got to talk dirty to it.
Oh, there she goes.
There we go. Each half has got to be a couple 100 pounds. Hang on, don't go popping your guts out.
Actually, let me start it up because then we could lower the...
I can roll it over here.
Can you roll it?
Yeah.
Ah.
There we go. It's kind of in the cradle.
Okay, we'll worry about this one afterwards.
Yeah, I can roll over that way.
There.
Actually, you want it to be barked down, or we can split it just like that?
We could probably split this one now with no problem.
Well, don't be sure. Okay, so we just got done splitting this big beast here, and I think a big part of the problem, obviously, because it weighed 400 pounds. The other problem is that because it was such a big piece, and the cut on it, I can tell was cut with a steel chainsaw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was cut at an angle. It wasn't a straight 90-degree cut.
Well, that's the angled blade that they offer.
It must be, because a Husqvarna would have had a straight cut on that. That's why it was twisting on us, you know, because it was a crooked cut.
Is that the reason?
But you don't need to cut them straight because you have unlimited power. You just,
there you
just
go.
split it. But yeah, that is a little tough, because I've done that too, where you get a crooked cut and they pop out on you, or they go different directions. But having that kind of power, it doesn't really even matter. It just goes. But I can see, though, when you're playing with the valves there, up and down, raising this thing, and you're trying to get a piece out, you got to watch your hands, because it would be really easy to lose a hand.
That's it.
Really
Especially
easy
when you're working with somebody.
Yes, you got to watch that close. But yeah, we only split that little bit, especially this whole top part of this crate here is just that one chunk of wood. That's a lot of, a lot of wood in these things here.
I wish we would have gotten a number of pieces out of that. And if you were looking at bundle wood, how many? I know some other YouTubers have done that.
Well, we can do another one of these, but I think what we're going to do before we split another one, we will pop it in quarters. Well, actually, we'll do that right now. We'll pop one in quarters here. And so now, instead of trying to lift this thing, even with the log lift, because it is so big, and try and maneuver, it's going to pop it in half. And again, because it's a hollow log, it's going to be trouble no matter what. So let's see if I can use this big boy. There we go. I might as well do that again, huh?
Why not?
Wow. There we go.
There we go.
Now it's flat. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a heavy maul.
I will tell you, that maul feels much better in your hand than in mine.
Yeah, I bet. I bet you think it works better too.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you glue this together on the other side?
It was just a test.
Yeah. There we go. I gotta start working out. I'm out of shape.
Do you want me to show you how it's done? No, keep going.
Come on!
I think you got it.
Okay, I need a nap. So our observations on doing these big rounds like we did, obviously they're huge. When you're talking, 300-400 pounds, it's not something that one guy can handle, let alone two. It was not fun.
Nope, but being hollow made the big difference.
Yeah, it did, because we just couldn't do anything with it there, and you couldn't get a full split on it.
Exactly.
And you were just mentioning something about what Andrew said about the size of the pieces.
Yes. Anything, or pretty much Andrew had mentioned that any piece you get on there, it'll lift it.
Right.
But you have to do it safely, and that's the key.
Right. And then once you get it up there and you split the halves, even though there's two of us, you get a couple 100-pound piece, one on each side, and it's got all that weight down there. It's really hard to handle. So that's where either noodling it down in halves or quarters, or like I just split this one right over here, getting it in, manageable size chunks. I mean, how big do you want to have to handle stuff? I mean,
well, the one thing that we didn't mention is if we had the box wedge on this particular one, the box wedge would take the 4 pieces off the bottom. It wouldn't actually, we wouldn't wedge anything. We wouldn't get stuck there, and then pull it back in here. So that's another option, is the box wedge.
And you can get a single wedge for this too, right?
Yep.
See, and on monster stuff, that's what I do. I put my single wedge on.
The single makes a
difference.
difference.
It makes it so much easier, because you're just fighting it the whole time.
We couldn't have even used the single wedge, the 18, because I don't think
it wouldn't have gone to the next section.
Right, so we were
literally
screwed on that one.
Yeah, well, That's what happens.
Live and learn.
When you got those big boys like that. But it produces a lot of wood. But that's something you're all gonna have to think about, no matter what equipment you have, is how big do you really want to handle it?
Well, that's it. And this unit comes standard with a six-way wedge.
But you prefer the 4.
Well, when I'm working alone, it's a lot easier for me to work with it. If I had consistent pieces of between 12 and 18 inches, the 6-way is the way to go. It's so fast, especially with the auto cycle.
Which is why all the people that run processors want, you know, 12 to 16 inch stuff, because it's just, they can fly through it so fast.
That's it.
But Andrew just did did you see the video he did the other day about the sizes as you go from like an 8-inch to a 12-inch?
That's it.
How much more wood you get?
That's it.
Because circles grow exponentially, that you get so much more wood, which was nice about having these big rounds, is you get a lot of wood out of them. But is it worth it? Well, sometimes it's not.
You know what? When you get it for free, sometimes it is.
Well, sometimes free, you get what you pay for.
That's it.
You get more work.
Yep.
All right, cool. So what else we have to say about the splitter?
It's great.
It's great. You love it, and it's quite a machine. I got to tell you, it was fun. I'll be doing some more videos with it in the future. So that's it for today, folks. Thanks for watching. Please hit the buttons. You know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. And between today and tomorrow, when I see you again, will it be tomorrow? Get out in the woods and get cutting. What do you got to say?
Best job I've ever had.
And who do we need to say goodnight to?
Oh, Irene! I forgot about Irene.
See you tomorrow.